What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another trade recap. And today I'm going to go over a break even day. So, on this day on NQ, I took one winner and one loss, and I did kind of broke ish a little one of my rules. So, I'm going to go over that and the potential mistakes maybe here that I could have maybe prevented. But yeah, let's go over it. Today's recap is not going to be that long. Okay, it's going to be very short, to be honest. If you guys like the shorter recaps, let me know. If you like them longer, let me know that as well. I'll also go over like the potential setups you could have taken on this day that I missed out on. So yeah. Anyway, for my own personal trades, I got it when I was on the charts. I had something to do in the morning, so I wasn't able to trade. But when I was on the charts here around 2 o'clock ish, price was kind of already expanding higher and already made this break of structure. I noticed that my indicator was marking this 5-minute PY here already for me, as you see right here. And so there's not much I could do here. There was, oh wow, I didn't realize. I think I might have missed a setup in real time. There was a stop on right here. Okay, they could have taken here for like 4R. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't like taking stop hunters when the range is very small. This range is a very small range. Okay, so I usually try to avoid taking stop hunters when the range is too small. I just find them working much better usually when we have big ranges like this, when we have this expansion, or we have something like this, where price delivers with a lot of momentum. They work much better than these smaller ranges. Smaller ranges, you tend to get chopped up with stop hunter. So I try to usually, with the smaller ranges, wait for a price to come back to a POI such as this, right? Basically saying come back, waiting for a price to come back to 50%, okay? Instead of taking the stop hunter for the most part. Unless you're taking like a re-entry maybe early on when you mitigate this PY, then sure you can take the stop hunter. But for me, at this point, I think I even missed this setup anyway. But to me, it's not a great setup. It did play out, but it's not as ideal. I probably would have missed the setup here, trying to wait for a slim order. But anyway, that's fine. Now, when I got on, I saw we had this finally, we mitigated here. So I was okay, cool. Now I can look for my entry model. We took an IFG here, or I took an IFG here. I did see we have an OB created after, so we had double entry confirmation. But this is one thing you gotta keep in mind, guys. There is only so much you can do with entry models. I don't care how good your entry model is. You can have 10 confirmations. You can have EMA crossovers. Okay, you can have, I remember when I used to trade these like barely, but maybe like for like a week max when I started trading. I knew they were complete BS because if they really did work, you can easily code a crossover strategy. And I've coded even my own EMA crossover strategy, and the EV or profit factor is basically break even. Even if it was a tiny bit higher, over a long run, it doesn't work. And after committing a spread, you're going to be negative. So don't trade crossover EMA crossovers. They don't do anything. Trade price action, raw price action. Now you could even argue EMA crossovers are calculated mathematically based on raw price action. But when I say price action, I'm talking about understanding how to read candles, these candles, and knowing market structure. I think market structure probably is the biggest thing here when it comes to understanding where you want to anticipate price. Because like I said, you can have, let's say price hits your demand here. You can have, a break, or we have 2 breaks. You can have all this IFG, OB. You can have 3 OBs. Even with all these confirmations, it doesn't guarantee you're gonna win the trade. Okay, remember, fake outs occur in the market. Fake reactions happen all the time in the market. Like for example, people will see this up move here. Imagine we're in real time. This is what you see here. I bet you people are probably longing this, thinking, oh, we're going to the upside, just to get faked out and price quickly reverses your downside. So if you could take one thing away from this video, it is that entry models are important. They do increase your risk reward, or your win rate, and potential risk reward. However, the most important thing to understand is anticipating price before anything even happens. It's something called predicting the future with high probability. Now, no one can predict 100%. I'm not trying to tell you you will predict 100%. I think my draw liquidity rate of being right or wrong is probably around 70%. And even with a 50-50, you'll be good. Because with my strategy and system, your risk reward is high. Okay, we are trading a system that is about 3 to 4 are our averages. Some people average 6 actually or higher with my system, but they're going for much bigger swing targets. and with that comes slightly lower win rates, of course. But I took IFG off my indicator here, and I could have went break even twice, or technically once here on the break, but that's not much wiggle room, is it? Usually you should have at least 1 hour wiggle room, but anyway, point is I didn't go break even on this because I thought it was a good trade, and it hit me out. This is just me looking for a continuation of this trend here. I was looking for a near session high here. Let me go over my high time frame bias. Well, clearly we're bullish, right? Highs are being broken. So I was anticipating us to go to the next high. This is one thing I failed to recognize in the moment, and that is we did not go back to 50% of this leg here. We didn't mitigate any PY on the higher time from here. We have a 1 hour unmitigated down here. And we also have a 1 hour unmitigated PY down here. So with these two 1 hour PYs, these could be draws of liquidity. We did also take our previous day high already, right? So if the higher time frame wants to kick in, we will go down here on a lower time frame before going higher and expanding, because I do think we can go further higher. And we did also ultimately hit a very extreme supply zone that caused this massive break. So with these zones, they're going to cause bigger reactions to the market than some zones that don't do much movement or cause much movement in the market. So ultimately, I think this draw is what I failed to notice here for this 1 hour here. I was too attached to basically this lower time frame PY here on the 5 minute, I believe. Let's see, it was a 5 minute demand. 30 minutes, nothing there. 1 hour, nothing there. So yeah, literally just a 5 minute demand here. I was too attached to this, so that's what basically ultimately ended me today. And yeah, now I did take another setup here. So this setup here was off a liquidity sweep. This is basically, let me delete this real quick. Actually, this is clear enough. So this is a liquidity sweep. And because this is internal swing structure now, okay, it's not internal structure. It's an internal swing structure because these ranges are big enough for us to look for, you know, normal trades. So I took this, I believe I waited for OB, wait for OB retracement, and I later, when I realized much later in this trade, I realized it's really late in the day. This is almost to my closure because I'm usually trading way before this, right? Sometimes during kill zone. So I completely forgot that it's already afternoon session. I don't know why, but I just completely forgot, lost track of time. So I had to basically move my TP. Obviously, I'm not going to go for this. You'd be crazy to go for that. That's not happening unless news, but there's no news coming out ever at this time. The latest news that comes out is like FOMC at 2 p.m. and that's not even today. So I just went for a quick scalp to try to see if I can just end the day break even for the most part. Just TPing again at the next high here. You could have also TP'd here if you want to, but there's my TP here because I was still bullish here at this time because this is a liquidity sweep. So I got at least 1 hour out of this and basically ended my day break even here. And that's when later I realized, going back, I was reviewing the day and seeing what did I do wrong. Maybe I did nothing wrong, but I was trying to see why like kind of this setup here didn't hold. Usually this should hold if we were to go higher, and I realized, oh, we have a draw below, so that's why price is going lower on the lower time frame. In that case, people think shorts are winning, right? There's setups going short. There is this sweep here. You could have taken a short here, but this is really late in the day. I just TP there and I called it a day. So anyway, hope you guys do enjoy this trade recap, and I'll see you guys in the next video.